It's 3 a.m. The house is completely silent, and the rest of the world seems to be drifting in peaceful, dreamless sleep. But you're staring at the ceiling, feeling the familiar, suffocating weight of the night. You're replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. The awkward pause, the thing you should have said, the look they gave you. Your heart is beating a little faster than it needs to, and there's that familiar, heavy lump in your throat, a mixture of anxiety and sheer frustration with yourself. You just want your brain to be quiet. You want to hit a mute button on your own thoughts, but the more you try to silence them, the louder they become. If this is you, know that you aren't alone. And in this video, we're going to walk through exactly what is happening inside you, and why your brain, the very tool meant to protect you, feels like it has turned against you. Let's be clear about something, right from the start. What you're feeling isn't laziness, and it isn't a personal weakness. It doesn't mean you're broken or failing at life. Emotional burnout is fundamentally and dangerously different from just being tired. Fatigue is a physical state. You sleep, you eat, you recover. Burnout is a disconnect. It's what happens when your mind screams for help because your internal resources have been completely exhausted, but the demands on your time and your energy haven't changed. You feel empty, not because you have nothing left to give, but because your inner reservoir is dry, and yet you're still desperately trying to pour from it, day after day, week after week. You are running on fumes, and eventually, the engine stops. Why does this happen? It's a twofold process. Biologically, your amygdala, your brain's ancient primitive alarm system, is working overtime. It's trying to protect you from perceived danger, but it doesn't know the difference between a real, immediate threat and a mounting, abstract list of responsibilities. It keeps you trapped in a constant fight or flight mode, flooding you with cortisol. This is why you can't relax. Psychologically, it's often a deeply ingrained habit, a pattern of putting others' needs before your own, perhaps learned years ago as a way to feel safe or valued. You've become so accustomed to proving your worth just by being useful to everyone else that you've forgotten how to simply exist without a purpose. You've conditioned your mind to believe that rest is a reward you have to earn, rather than a fundamental necessity for survival. And here is the trap. A silent cycle that almost nobody talks about. You feel hurt, so you withdraw from the world to try to heal. But by withdrawing, you lose the very support system you need, and your sense of isolation only deepens. The more isolated you are, the louder your mind screams, trying to fill the void by creating negative, anxious scenarios to explain why you feel this way. You start to believe that this feeling is permanent, that this is who you are. But listen to me. You aren't a puzzle piece that lost its place. You are the whole picture. It's just covered in a thick layer of dust right now. The dust of expectations, the dust of past hurts, the dust of constant comparison. So, what do you actually do? You don't need a massive life overhaul. You need to start with the smallest possible unit of change. Step 1. Give yourself permission to be enough, as you are right now with all your flaws, your exhaustion, and your current limitations. Stop the frantic striving for a moment. This sounds frightening, but it's the only path to real freedom. If you have to fail at something today, to give yourself a moment to breathe, then let yourself fail. Step 2. Get back into your body. Right now, you're living entirely inside your head, inside a labyrinth of what-ifs and should-haves. You need to ground yourself. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Pay attention to the rhythm of your breath. When you notice yourself spiraling, name 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can hear, 1 thing you can smell. These aren't just tricks. These are physiological cues that switch your brain from alarm back to safe. Step 3. Focus on micro actions. Stop trying to fix everything at once. You can't heal in the same environment that burnt you out, but you can change how you navigate it. Do one tiny thing that brings even a second of calm. Maybe it's just washing one dish. Maybe it's 5 minutes of silence without your phone. Those 5 minutes are not a waste. They are a reclamation of your time and your sanity. You don't have to carry this all alone. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it today. It might be the bridge they need to realize they're in the same cycle. Subscribe if you want to keep exploring how your mind shapes your reality and how to navigate it with more compassion. Take care of your mind. It's the most beautiful place you'll ever visit.